Welcome sa E-SKUL ng Bayan. Andito ako para samahan kayong mag-review. Tara, aral!
Okay, so ngayon let's talk about factoring polynomials. So let's start with prime factorization ng ating monomials. Bakit? Alam ko, parang ang trivial kasi, diba? Anong prime factors ng x squared? Edi x and x. But let's discuss this para dun sa mga hindi nila ma-imagine, para kapag may complex problems, alam nila kung saan nanggagaling yung mga bagay-bagay. Okay? So let's start with x squared. Ang prime factors ng x squared is x and x. So here we have x squared is equal to x times x. How about x squared y cubed? Ang prime factors niya would be x times y times y times y. How about 16xy? Ang prime factors ng 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times x times y. Okay? So ito yung tinatawag natin prime factorization. Ano naman yung sinasabi nating power prime factorization? So similar lang siya. Pero kapag pareho ang base mo, in this case may x ka, x times x, pwede mo siyang i-express as a power. Okay? So for example, x squared, yung power prime factor niya would be x squared lang. How about yung x squared y cubed? Ang power prime factor niya would be x squared and y cubed. So x squared times y cubed. Lastly, if we have this one, 16x squared y, ang power prime factor niya would be 2 raised to 4 times x squared times y. Okay? So now that we know this, mag-try naman tayo ng factoring out common terms. Okay? So ano ibig sabihin nito? Basically, if you have a polynomial, meron siyang greatest common monomial factor. So in this case, we have 2x plus 2. Ang greatest common monomial factor niya would be 2. Okay? So if we factor that out, ano ba yung concept talaga pag sinabi natin factoring out? Basically, minumultiply natin siya by 1 or ng fraction na may numerator na equal sa greatest common monomial factor or greatest common factor over the greatest common factor din. Okay? So, distribute natin yung denominator niya or yung 1/2 in this case. We will have this. Magka-cancel yung mga 2 dyan. We will have 2 times x plus 1. Okay? So, basically, yung ginawa natin dito is identify the GCF of each term. Okay? And then, divide each term by the GCF. So, makukuha mong factor would be the GCF times yung quotient mo from number 2. Okay? So, I know this is a simple example, pero para lang na-imagine talaga natin ano nangyayari. So that kapag mas complex yung problem, hindi tayo nagtatanong, paano bigla naging ganon? Kasi alam natin yung konsepto behind it. Ano yung mga greatest common factors nila? I'll give you time to answer. Okay, so for the first one, we have 12x cubed minus 24x squared plus 18. Ang 12, 24, and 18 ay may greatest common factor na 6. Okay? Yung variables naman, wala tayong x sa third term or yung 18. So, ibig sabihin, ang ating greatest common factor lang is simply 6. Okay? Pagdating sa number 2, we have 7x cubed minus 35x raised to 6 minus 14x raised to 9. At ang greatest common factor nila would be 7x cubed. So, kung mapapansin nyo, kapag meron kayong variables, yung greatest common factor nila would be yung variable raised to the least, okay, or smallest exponent na meron ka. So, here meron kang 3, 6, and 9. Ang pinakamaliit is 3, kaya x raised to 3. Okay? So, ganoon din dito sa last one, kapag i-check natin, ang common factor niya would be x and y. Kasi dito, pinakamaliit na power ng x is raised to 1. Ito naman merong y raised to 1. Ito rin, y raised to 1 lang din. So, kaya ang greatest common factor nila would be x times y or xy. Okay? So, given these examples, subukan natin kunin or i-factor out yung GCF nila. Okay? Okay, so for the first example, we have 12x cubed minus 24x squared plus 18. Again, alam natin ang common factor niya is 6. So, i-take out natin ang 6 and then i-divide natin silang lahat by 6. Okay, here we will have 6 times, ito magiging 2x cubed minus 24 divided by 6, that's equal to 4x squared plus 18 divided by 6, that's equal to 3. Okay, so ito yung ating final answer. Okay, how about for the second example? We have 7x cubed minus 35x raised to 6 minus 14x raised to 5. Okay? Ang greatest common factor natin dito is 7x cubed. So, 7x cubed, tapos i-divide natin silang lahat by 7x cubed. Okay, so here, magka-cancel lang sila. Meron tayong 1. Minus, how about this one? Magka-cancel lang to. Ito magiging 3 kasi 6 minus 3. Itong 35 divided by 7 will become 5. 5x cubed. Minus x cubed. Ito magiging 2. 7 and 14. Ito magiging 2. So, 2x raised to 2 times 7x cubed. So, rearrange natin ito. Our final answer is this one. Okay, ni-rearrange ko lang, be consistent lang with the signs. Alright? So, this is our final answer. Okay, our last example is x raised to 4y plus 5x cubed y minus 8x squared y plus 26x y squared. Okay? Ang common factor natin dito is xy. Okay? So, factor out xy, divide all terms by xy. Cancel y. X, mabawasan ng isa to. This becomes 3. How about this one? Cancel yung y, mabawasan ng isa. This becomes 2. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Ito magiging 1. Okay? How about this one? X magka-cancel, y, ito mababawasan ng isa, maging y na lang. So, our final answer is xy times x cubed plus 5x squared minus 8x plus 26y. Okay, so that's it for factoring out common terms or factoring out monomials from a polynomial. Now, let's talk about factoring trinomials. So, in general, yung mga i-discuss natin today would apply sa ating mga trinomials na merong form a x raised to n plus b x raised to k y raised to j plus y raised to m. For example, if meron tayong x raised to 4 plus 2x raised to 2 plus 2, applicable din sa mga ganitong itsura yung i-discuss natin. But for this discussion, mag-focus tayo sa ating quadratic expressions. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Meron tayong trinomial degree 2. So, ang mga makikita natin today ay merong form na ax squared plus bx plus c, where a and b are your coefficients and yung c mo yung constant mo, tapos yung variables mo ay x squared and x. Let's start with the quadratic expression na ang coefficient ng x squared is just 1. So, kapag makikita ka ng ganito, meron ka ng tinatawag na factor sum pattern, wherein yung factors ng c mo would add up to b. So, for example, if yung factors ng c mo is r and s, and it so happens na yung r and s is equal to b, ang magiging factor ng iyong x squared plus bx plus c is yung x plus r times x plus s. Again, reminder, yung mag-a-apply lang to kapag yung coefficient ng x squared mo is 1. So, if we have this example, ano ba ang factors ng ating 2 or ng ating constant? It's 2 and 1. If we add 2 and 1, makukuha ba natin ang 3 or ang coefficient ng ating x term? Yes, kasi 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. So, in this case, ang factors ng x squared plus 3x plus 2 is equal to x plus 2 times x plus 1. So, another example. Paano naman kung yung c natin is unlike, in this example, yung 2 kasi or yung constant natin is a prime number. So, ang dali niya lang. 2 and 1 lang naman yung possible factors niya. How about if we have 12, for example? Ang kanyang prime factors are 12 times, ang kanyang factors, is 12 times 1, 6 times 2, and 4 times 3. Now, what you're gonna do is, titingnan mo kung ano ang coefficient mo. In this case, it's 7. Alin sa mga factors ng 12, if you add them, ang makukuha mo is 7. That would be yung 4 and 3. Kasi 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. So, ang ating factors ng x squared plus 7x plus 12 would be x plus 4 times x plus 3. Okay? So, paano naman kapag negative yung A mo o kaya negative yung B or negative yung C mo? In general, mag-a-apply lang. Mag-a-apply pa rin yung pattern na to o yung rules na to. Okay? So, for example, let's say if B is negative and C is positive. So, para maging positive ang C, dapat pareho ang sign ng factors niya. Either pareho silang positive or pareho silang negative. But since negative ang B mo, dapat ang parehong factors ng C mo would be negative. Okay? So, in the earlier example, hindi natin consider yung negative factors ng 12, like negative 12 times negative 1. Kasi positive naman yung B natin. But in this case, since B is negative and C is positive, both factors ng C natin na kukunin would be negative. And yung sum dapat nila would still be equal to B. So, for example, if we have this one, x squared minus 8x plus 12, ang factors ng 12 natin would be negative 12, negative 1, negative 6 times negative 2, negative 4 times negative 3. Okay? So, alin dito yung factors na kapag in-add natin, ang makukuha natin is negative 8. That would be negative 6 and negative 2. So, ang ating magiging factors ng ating x squared minus 8x plus 12 would be x minus 6 times x minus 2. So, paano naman kapag ang C natin is negative? Okay, kapag ang C natin is negative, pwede pa rin positive or negative ang B natin. Okay? Ma-apply pa rin natin yung concept kanina. It's just that pag ganito, marami tayong magiging possible na combinations ng factors. So, pwede natin isipin na factors of absolute value of C, in short, i-ignore muna natin yung sign, dapat yung difference nila is equal to positive value ng B. Okay? So, ang pinagkaiba lang nito sa concept kanina is subtraction yung ginagawa natin. Okay? Kapag ayaw nyo muna i-consider yung sign. Pero, kapag gagamitin nyo na yung sign ng C, ng B, etc., i-apply nyo lang rin yung concepts kanina. Dapat pareho pa rin yung sagot na makuha nyo. This is just a shortcut or a way to check if tama yung ginagawa nyo. Okay? So, take note that if B is positive, whichever man yung mas malaki sa R and S, yun yung magiging positive. So, yung mas maliit na number, automatically, siya yung negative. Okay? Pag naman yung B is negative, dapat kung ano yung mas malaki sa R or S, siya yung magiging negative number. And then, positive naman yung isa. Okay? So, for example, if we have x squared minus 4x minus 12, anong factors ng ating 12? That would be 12 and 1, 6 and 2, and 4 and 3. Okay? So, alin dito yung kapag isubtract natin? Okay? Kasi negative tong constant. Kapag negative yung constant, subtract. Pag positive yung constant, add. Okay? So, negative subtract, 6 and 2, we will get 4, right? Kapag isubtract natin siya. Okay. So, now, ano magiging sign ng 6? Ano naman magiging sign ng 2? Since B, or itong negative 4, is negative, ibig sabihin yung mas malaking number, which is 6, siya yung kukuha ng negative na sign. And positive naman yung 2. So, ang ating magiging factor ngayon would be x minus 6 times x plus 2. So, for example, if meron tayong ganito example, as you can see, negative ang ating x squared, i-factor out lang natin yung negative 1. So, ang makukuha natin is negative, okay? And then, lahat ng signs mo dito sa taas, babalik ta rin mo. So, since negative to, magiging positive dito. Negative, magiging positive. Negative, magiging positive. Okay? So, kung positive siya dito sa taas, edi magiging negative siya dito sa baba. Okay? Just be consistent with your signs. Okay. So, now itong x squared plus 8x plus 12, ifa-factor natin siya further. Okay? Using yung methods kanina, we will get x plus 6 times x plus 12. So, take note, may negative dyan. Okay? So, what if wala ito sa choices? Anong possible forms nito? Pwedeng merong negative x minus 6. In short, dinistribute ko tong negative sign dito sa x plus 6. Okay guys, pag dinistribute nyo siya sa x plus 6, hindi nyo na i-distribute to sa x plus 2 ha. Okay? Kasi magiging redundant yun, mawawala yung effect niya. Okay? So, negative x minus 6 times x plus 2. O kaya naman, yung negative sign i-distribute natin sa x plus 2. We will have x plus 6 times negative x minus 2. Okay? So, itong last two lines sa inyong mga possible factors ng negative x squared minus 8x minus 12. Okay? Essentially, equal lang yun silang tatlo. Okay. So, to summarize yung mga pinag-usapan natin, bago lang, if we have x squared plus bx plus c, okay? Una mong i-check is if positive or negative ba yung x squared, okay? If negative, factor out. Gawin mong negative times x squared minus bx minus c. Okay? Or kung ano man yung meron. Basta factor out, negative 1. Okay? And kapag nagawa mo na yon, check this one. If you have positive c, what you're gonna do is add factors. Okay? Add factors of c. Kapag negative naman yung c mo, subtract factors. Okay? And then, kapag positive yung b mo, ibig sabihin, both factors are positive. Okay? Factors are positive. Kapag negative ang b mo, both factors are negative. Okay? So, dito, ang magiging sagot mo would look something like x plus r, x minus, plus s, sorry. Dito naman, ang magiging itsura niya would be x minus something, or let's say r, times x minus s. Okay? So, guys, dito na-consider na yung signs ha, so wag nyo gawing negative tapos a minus times negative, okay? Kasi babalik ka lang rin sa positive, okay? So, shortcut lang to or a way of checking. Kunwari, na-factor out mo na siya, tapos you want to check if tama yung sagot mo. Kapag meron ka namang negative c ulit, okay? Pag positive yung b mo dito, or kahit negative man yung b mo, pareho lang yung form ng sagot mo, okay? Pareho kang merong x plus something over ay times x minus something. Okay? Parehong ganyan yung form. Ano yung pinagkaiba nila? Kung positive ang b mo, ibig sabihin nandito sa plus something, ito yung bigger number mo. So, kung may 6 and 2 ka dyan, mas malaki yung 6. So, positive yung 6. Okay? How about here? Negative b. So, ibig sabihin, itong number mo dito, siya dapat yung mas malaking number. Okay? Kapag negative yung b mo. Alright? Okay? So, to reiterate, kapag positive yung c mo, you add your factors. Pag positive yung b mo, ibig sabihin, parehong positive yung nandito mo dapat. Kapag negative yung b mo, negative dito, pareho. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, if your c is positive, you add, and then at the same time, same signs. Okay? As you can notice, positive, positive, negative, negative. So, magkapareho lang sila. Okay, how about here? If negative yung C mo, dapat you subtract. Okay, again, dito ini-ignore na natin yung sign kasi na-take into account na natin siya. Kaya natin siya sinasubtract. And then, as you can see, opposite yung signs. Meron kang positive, meron kang negative, meron kang positive, meron kang negative. Okay? To check which one should be positive or which one should be negative, iti-check mo yung sign ng B mo. Okay? So, if your B is positive, yung mas malaking number yung positive. If your B is negative, yung mas malaking number yung negative. Okay? So, bakit important to at ba't paulit-ulit ako? Kasi, for example, if you have sa choices mo, okay? So, kung mapapansin mo, kung na-check mo yung choices mo, tapos makikita mong pareho lang, parehong 3, ito parehong 2, huwag ka na mag-bother mag-solve. Okay? So, what if sobrang laki pala ng values? Like, what if you have x plus 14, x minus 7, mga ganyan. X minus 7, x minus 14, etc. na choices. So, since pareho lang sila, ibig sabihin, sure ka na 3 and 2 yung numbers na meron. Okay? So, pag ganun, i-counter-check mo na lang sa given mo. Okay? So, for example, ang given mo is x squared minus 5x plus 6. Okay? Kung ito yung given mo, look, this is positive. So, ibig sabihin dapat pareho yung sign. So, sure na tayo na hindi A yung sagot. Okay? Negative 5x. Okay, so ibig sabihin, parehong sign nila, pero since negative to, dapat negative rin yung pareho. Okay? So, the answer is letter B. I get it na madali lang to, so madali lang rin siyang isolve. Pero what if malalaki yung values mo? Okay? Mas madali kapag i-check mo na lang. Now, let's answer some examples. For example, if we have x squared minus x minus 6. Okay? What are the factors of 6? We have 6 and 1, 3 and 2. Okay? So, since negative to, ibig sabihin magsasubtract tayo. 6 minus 1, that's 5. 3 minus 2, that's 1. So, since 1 yung coefficient natin dito, ito yung ating gagamitin. Okay? So, now, which one should be negative and which one should be positive? Since negative x, ibig sabihin yung mas malaking number should be negative. So, this is negative. Ito naman, positive. We will have x minus 3 times x plus 2. Okay? So, if you check this using FOL method, you should get this product. Okay? So, ito yung factors ng x squared minus x minus 6. Okay. Number 2. How about if we have this one? Since negative yung x squared natin, ibig sabihin, i-factor out mo natin yung negative 1. We will have x squared. Ito magiging positive. Ito magiging negative 12. Okay? So, take note, negative ang ating constant. So, ibig sabihin, mag-subtract tayo, guys. Okay? So, anong factors ng 12? 12 and 1, 6 and 2, 4 and 3. Okay? Ano dito yung kapag sinubtract natin, we will get 4. Ito, 6 and 2. Right? So, here, we will have negative x 6, x 2. Okay, now, anong sign dapat nila? Since negative to, ibig sabihin, opposite signs dapat sila, right? We have positive 4x. Okay? Bakit hindi ito yung tinitingnan ko sa taas? Kasi, ito lang naman yung pinafactor natin dito eh. Diba? Hindi naman itong buo. Kasi nilabas na natin yung negative. Okay? So, since positive ito, yung mas malaking number would be positive. Ito mas maliit number would be negative. Okay? So, here we have positive, negative. Okay? This is our factor. Great. Number 3. We have x squared plus 21x plus 54. Okay, so since positive ang ating constant, ibig sabihin mag-a-add tayo ng factors. We have 54 and 1. Ano pong factors ng 54? We have 27 and 2. Ano pa? Divisible ba siya by 3? 3 and 18. Ano pa? 9 and 6. Guys, minsan pwede yung kada sulat nyo, 54 and 1. I-check nyo na agad. If you add this, makuha mo ba ang 21? No. So, hindi na yung sagot. 27 and 2, if you add it, will you get 21? Hindi rin. So, hindi din yung sagot. 18 plus 3, will you get 21? Yes. Okay, so yung 9 and 6, hindi din yun yung sagot natin. So, actually, guys, wag nyo na munang ilista lahat. Okay? So, actually, mas practical if kada sulat nyo or kada identify nyo ng pairs of factors niya, i-counter-check nyo siya. Okay? So, for example, 54 and 1, check nyo muna bago kayo maglista ng next and so on. Okay? So, since positive ito, and positive din ito, ano nga ulit ibig sabihin kapag positive yung constant natin or yung ating C? Ibig sabihin lang nun, pareho ang sign. Okay? Either positive pareho or negative pareho. Pero since positive to, ibig sabihin, positive silang pareho. So, our answer here would be x plus 18 times x plus 3. For number 4, we have x squared minus 10x plus 16. Okay. Since meron tayong plus dito, ibig sabihin, mag-a-add tayo. Okay? Since positive yung ating constant. Ano ang factors ng 16 that will give us 10? Okay? So, this one is easy. Kung alam mo na agad na 8 and 2, then check mo na siya. 8 plus 2, that will give us 10. Correct? Okay? Pero since negative ito, and positive itong C, ibig sabihin, pareho yung sign nila. Pareho, negative. Okay? So, negative 8 and negative 2. X minus 8 times x minus 2. Okay. So, ito yung mga final answers natin. Okay, katulad sa sinomarize ko kanina, if you can notice, itong may mga positive na C constant. Okay? Pagdating dito, sa factors nila, pareho yung sign. Parehong positive or pareho negative. Okay? So, based yun sa magiging sa sign ng iyong x term. Okay? So, since positive ang x term dito, parehong plus. Okay? Since negative ang x term mo dito, parehong negative. Alright? So, pagdating naman sa negative na constant. Okay? Itong 1 and 2. Ibig sabihin nun, opposite yung signs. Okay? Yun yung i-expect mo. Opposite na signs. And again, based sa B term or X term natin. Okay? Since negative ito, ang larger number ang negative or negative 3 versus 2. Okay? Katulad dito, negative to. So, ibig sabihin, opposite yung sign. Ang susundin ng larger number would be positive. Kasi positive itong X term mo. Kaya ang 6 natin is positive. And then the other one, yun yung negative. So now, let's discuss yung polynomials natin na may x squared coefficient na greater than 1.